Cool.
All right. So up next we have the adventure games. Discover the story. These are from Kosmos. So Cosmos has had for many years, well, I shouldn't say many years, for about 3-4 years now, they've had the Exit the Game series. And they are so popular that they decided they wanted to try a different kind of like escape room style game. And these are more story driven. So whereas the Exit games are very it's very linear puzzly, these are, I don't know. It's very story driven, and you can jump kind of jump around and stuff. Like you don't have to have this puzzle done before you can go to the next one, kind of thing. This you can just go wherever you want and find whatever you want to explore, kind of thing.
Yeah, both of these have like separate rooms you can explore and.
Yeah, so they currently have 2 available. One is The Dungeon, the other is Monochrome Ink. And something that I thought was very interesting, I didn't realize this until after we'd played them both, is The Dungeon is ages 12 and up, and Monochrome Ink is ages 16 and up. And I think that partly is due to the theme of Monochrome Ink. It's a little bit more...
Mature,
yeah, exactly. Like the dungeon it's kind of like a dungeon.
But when we say mature, we don't mean like
creepy factor.
Yes, the creepy factor, like a scary movie kind of thing. Like so, yeah, the dungeon would be PG-13, Monochrome Ink would be R, in terms of like if
creepy
you're talking,
factor.
Yeah,
yeah. I just don't want to make it seem like we're talking like there's sex in this one.
No, there's no sex. But this Monochrome Ink,
without giving spoilers, it's like the generic thing is saying it's because of creepy content.
Yeah. So anyway, so basically the way that they work is you start out with a room, and it's a card. It's kind of like, this is like a 5x7 style card that is laid on the board, and it has different locations on it, and each location is stated with a number. And so you kind of start in like a cell in the bottom of a dungeon. And so you can go and explore the different locations. They all have different, like I said, they all have different numbers on them. So what they give you is they give you what they call the adventure book. So when you decide to explore a location, say that you want to explore 301, you flip to that entry in the book and you read what it says for 301. And they have a bunch of cards. They call them adventure cards. And at times throughout the game, it'll tell you to collect adventure cards and
or put them back in the box
or whatever. So this game is more, I want to say it's kind of more similar to the Unlock series, because you can, in this one, you can combine numbers of cards together to get new like things.
Yeah.
So like if you had a torch and you had a
bought a can of hairspray.
And a match, you could combine those 3 numbers to make now a lit torch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you could also
combine these 3 cards, then go through the deck and find this card. It's now
yeah. But they also have things where you can combine the cards with locations you're at. So if you're at, say that there's a locked door and you found a key somehow, you can then type in the number of the card that has a key on it and then add that to the number of the location, and boom, you've unlocked the door. Sorry.
I thought she was going to get to that a little later. Yeah.
So
there's a companion app.
So I mean, you would look it up. You would add the numbers.
This is the same Cosmos app that works for all their games.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
cool.
So you would just look up like if the card was 31 and the location was 101, you would look up in the book 31101. But like I just revealed, there is a companion app that actually
I like those.
We really like the companion app for this, because it not only like shows you text, it reads it to you. So
in a British voice.
They're always
so cool. It was so cool. Anyway, so that was super
No.
helpful, because the book is great.
Its rates are probably too high.
The book is fantastic because it has all the information you need, but you have to read it.
I more so used it as like, okay, what did that location say? Let me just go find it real quick.
Rusted Beetle, there is a MacGyver escape room game.
I was about to say, I think
they sell it at Target. Colin and I have played it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Back to the adventure games.
It was pretty good.
So the dungeon one, did I explain how they work pretty well?
Yeah.
Like
you're going to different locations, and you're trying to.
you're trying to get out of where you are, basically. Like, you have some sort of mission that it tells you at the beginning.
Yeah, it's not just you're trying to escape necessarily, but that
You're trying to do a
could be.
thing.
The
Yeah,
dungeon, I
and
think the goal is to escape originally, and Monochrome Inc., you're being sent in to infiltrate this place.
Yeah. So they actually, these ones are, they tell you you can do it in 3 sessions. So they give you at some point, once you've fulfilled your current objective, it's like, okay, you finished this objective, you can pack up and restart it at a different time with your new objective, or you could keep going. We just happened to play both of them. I mean, 2 different sessions.
All the way through.
We played both of them all the way through for each one, which you can do.
It says it's 3 90-minute sessions.
They were shorter than 90
we
minutes
finished.
for us.
We probably finished each one in about 2 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was just the 2 of us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's you
So we
got
didn't have to
multiple
take more
sessions in
turns.
one box,
Yes.
as opposed
So-
to like the exit games where it's like an hour
Yeah.
and then you're done.
Yeah, and then
Hand
Oh,
it
you're
off to
an
someone
hour? You're good.
Ideally,
So this was
Hand it off to someone else. Now you're good.
no, not even with the exit.
Oh,
games
that's
you
right. The
can't.
exit because you got to
these-
do
these
stuff.
you can hand off as long as you don't write in the rule book. There's a spot in the rule book that you can take notes if you do decide to like pack it up and bring it back out later. You could take notes on like what you had where, who had what cards, those kinds of
So
things.
print off that page in the rule book and then.
Or you could just take
Right on
pictures.
scrap paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take pictures of what you are doing.
But yeah,
Anyway, so you could hand these
yeah,
off.
we were used to the exit game, so we wrote on the page. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Whiteout.
Anyway, so
Lots of whiteout.
I forget where I was going now. Shoot. My mind is
So I will say I was super excited about these. First of all, just on the fact that they said, because it was like, oh, the exit games. Because I actually enjoy the exit puzzles better.
I do too.
I just didn't like the unlock ones. I just usually don't get the exit ones because I just don't want to trash the game afterwards. I usually get the unlocks so that I can at least pass it off to somebody else. So before I even heard that these were going to be reusable, I was excited like, oh, these are going to be more story driven. Like, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard they were going to be replayable, and I'm like, now I'm definitely interested.
So the interesting thing, they felt very different to me, each one. Like this one I feel like was more linear than
dungeon?
Monochrome. Yeah, the dungeon was more linear than Monochrome Inc. was, in my opinion. Because like I don't know, just what you're doing in this one, without giving away spoilers, it all kind of relies, like you have to do one thing before you can do another. Like you could still explore all over kind of wherever you want, but it's very much like, oh no, you definitely can't do this until you've done something else. Whereas Monochrome Inc., it was more
Yeah, you could jump all over the place.
Yeah, you could jump all over.
Some of the exit games get like that too, I've noticed, where like the easier, and I think it just has to do with the difficulty. The easier difficulty ones, it's like puzzle after puzzle. You finish this puzzle, you move to the next one. Whereas in some of the more difficult exit games, it's, you work on this puzzle, you work on this puzzle.
I get that. Murder on the Orient Express was like
It was
that.
kinda
Like
like
you
that.
could jump around. That was our favorite, by the way, in case anyone's curious.
Yeah, in the dungeon, certain things will happen to you where you'll get hurt and you'll lose a life point kind of thing. And you can gain them back through various ways. But then in Monochrome Inc., the different locations have different symbols above them on the cards, or not above them, next to the number, and it signifies like voice activation or motion sensing or thumbprint thumbprint sensing, that kind of thing. And whatever your hindrance is, it's related to one of those in some way. So whatever symbol you have, if you go to that location, you'll trigger the alarm to go up a level. And if your alarm ever reaches 5, it's the alarm actually goes off and something happens.
Yeah.
Is somebody's hindrance that they don't have thumbs?
No, it's just like
That would be a hindrance on a thumbprint scanner. I'm just putting that out there.
basically what it means is somehow this company that you're trying to infiltrate has gotten your fingerprint on file, and if you try and use it on that thing, it will trigger like, oh, this person is trying to access this, and they're bad.
Kind of like Minority Report. They have your eye scans on file.
Exactly. Yeah, they know who you are.
Yeah.
Soon as he walked into that lingerie store, it was like, oh, hey, like that's not him, but okay, that's.
Yeah. So I think these were good. I definitely enjoyed our experiences with them. But in my opinion, I like the exit games better because I like the puzzly aspect of it better.
The disposability doesn't really bother you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that these are transferable. Absolutely. I think that's fantastic. But I just prefer the tactileness
There you go.
and the puzzles in the exit games better.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe she was talking about the textile way that they were printed and the fabric.
What do you think?
So yeah, I like these. My one gripe, like I like the exit games better than these, but I think these could shoot up really close to them if the app had music.
Oh yeah, I had no background
Because the
music.
exit games, each one you do has thematic
There
background
is
music,
Yeah.
and these don't have it. It's just the guy talking is amazing.
The exit ones don't have background.
They
They
do,
do.
yeah. Hmm.
They do. They're thematic.
You might have had your phone
music.
on vibrate or something.
Oh, I'm thinking because you don't need a app for
Yeah,
the
you can
exit.
just do a timer, but
We use
Yeah.
the timer app for the
That's
exit
right.
games, and so it has background
so
music.
I'd
to
say it would like shoot way up on my ratings list if they would just put some background thing like they do with the exit games.
Gotcha.
like some dungeony noises, or, well, I don't know what they would do for Monochrome Inc.
Just that ambient background, like think like the Starship
Oh,
Enterprise.
yeah,
It's like
there's
Yeah.
always that hum
of the jet of
of the power distribution system throughout
Yeah.
the whole ship. Yeah.
yeah. They were both a little creepy in my opinion because I'm not like big into fantasy type stuff, but Monochrome Inc. was super creepy.
Mm.
It was super scary. Like it was like kind of post-apocalyptic in a way with
hand shoots out of the box and like grabs you.
well, it was just it made me, the dungeon was kind of like, this will never happen.
Yeah.
But Monochrome Inc. was, oh my gosh, if something, I could see this happening in real life. And I
Gotcha.
think that's what made me, that's why it creeped me out so much, because just the story behind it was very much, if some company just gets very greedy,
Yeah.
this could totally happen in real life one day. And oh,
And now the best part is they can leave it here and I can try them out.
And then
so
you
Yeah.
can say like, "Oh, you're a big sissy."
Yeah. Well, no. I'm saying like, it doesn't really surprise me that you would prefer the exit games over this because you are more, the boards versus swords piece.
right.
So
Yeah.
that makes me curious to get like me and like taking these to our D&D groups night.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you guys would really
because we've been
enjoy it.
playing because the escape room games work great for those type of scenarios, and we did like Chronicles of Crime one night too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like it's a lighter game that also is not really hard to learn.
Yeah.
And everyone doesn't have to be like super. We can be chatting while we're playing the game.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, something I want to talk about. I just thought about it because it's not a spoilery thing. In Monochrome Inc., there are cards that represent. There's like an elevator.
Oh yeah.
And it's practically pointless, like because you can go to whatever level you want at any point, anytime, and like it doesn't cost an action. Like you just get on the elevator, move to the floor you want, and then you can get off. And it was like, I thought it was so stupid at first, but I could not stop myself from doing it.
You're
It was
actually,
like-
because you're moving the card to the
Oh,
correct,
yeah.
instead of just taking your pawn and putting it on the floor you want to go to. We were actually putting it on the
Ah.
elevator, moving the elevator, taking the pawn off, and it was so fun.
It was, I don't know why. It was like, yeah.
It was fun.